A 64-year-old woman from the Midwest in the US died using the Sarco device. What am I gonna start a business where I start euthanizing people left and right? Will it claim the 64-year-old's death had been peaceful, fast, and dignified? Police in Switzerland detained several people following the first use of the Sarco sewer slide pod. Capsules! Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy Peablar coming back at you with a little bit of a shorter episode today. My nose is completely clogged, bro, and I'm just under the weather completely. So if my eyeballs or my nose start leaking at any point, that's the reason why. But I figured let's do a little quickie today. I have this interesting story coming from Switzerland, I believe, where a United States woman of 64 years old decided to go there and test out a sewer slide pod, and it wound up where like the CEO of the company wound up getting arrested along with some photographers and other people. It's a whole shit show over there in Switzerland. So let's jump right in. I'm Peablar. Welcome to Peablar TV 2. Let's jump right in. So right off the top, Midwest woman 64 dies in a Sarcos sewer slide pod used for the first time as cops make several arrests. Before we even get into this, what is a sarcopod? This image on the top here shows it in the woods, which is where they actually set it up for her final days, her final travel, I guess you could say. But let's jump into Sarcos' website. So I was like, what is this pod? It's some sort of sewer slide pod from what we know, but let's see what it's all about. Here we have the website, Sarco. Got some images, a cube. Like, what is that all about? Well, we'll jump into it, but you know, that's the pod. There it is. There's a lady standing next to it. Not much. So if we scroll down, the idea. Here is the idea of the Sarco pod. The concept of a capsule that could provide a rapid decrease in oxygen levels while maintaining a low CO2 level, the conditions for a peaceful, even euphoric death, was the brief behind Sarco. When Exit was approached, which Exit is the name of the company, I believe, a little ominous. When Exit was approached in 2012 for the technological solution for a UK man with locked-in syndrome, it was the Sarcos that emerged. No doctor required, and yet completely lawful. Well, I don't know if it's completely lawful, because there definitely have been some legal issues in Switzerland regarding this. Now, what is locked-in syndrome? I've never heard of that before. Locked-in syndrome. Because they tried helping this guy out, and apparently the only answer was to throw him in a machine and call quits, dude. What? Locked-in syndrome is, locked-in syndrome. What is it? Here's a little graph. People with locked-in syndrome are often initially in a coma before gradually regaining consciousness. Okay, so somebody in a coma state. Most people can move their eyes up and down vertically, and people locked in can hear, think, and sleep. So it's like they're fully awake, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're like frozen, which is a weird situation because I guess putting the person in the pod, yes, that could be a solution, but as you know, this sounds really freaking, I don't even know, this sounds really disrespectful, but could they have just pulled the plug? You know what I mean? Like he's on some sort of life support system. But they made this device, and I start to lose like the concept of this device along this website because it says the elegant design was intended to suggest a sense of occasion of travel to a new destination. And it seems like this is really just more about this thing being like a statement. You know what I mean? Features, it's portable. Bro, like what is what do you mean it's portable? Like what am I gonna start a business where I start euthanizing people left and right and I could just bring it with me? I don't think portability is really a selling point of this thing. It's 3D printed. Cool. That means it's made like garbage, bro. Straight up. At least Sarco is celebrating Pride Month here, right guys? So then I started reading all of these like headlines, these highlights here. It's like, it's at this exhibit here. Sarcos will open as part of the Open End 2 exhibit. Here's that cube from earlier. It's at the Cube Design Museum. And it just seems more like it's like a statement piece. police, whereas in reality, it's a medical device at the end of the day. Like a stretcher wouldn't go into a museum or some sort of expedition for its design language, you know what I mean? And they're trying to make this thing look cool. Like they're trying to make people have FOMO over it or something. Like, oh, I want one of those. It's portable, dude. Very weird design, very weird page, mixed messages all across, and they claim that it's all lawful and you don't need a doctor. But is that really the case? Let's read what happened in Switzerland this past month. Police in Switzerland detained several people following the first use of the Sarcos sewer slide pod, which was reportedly used to kill an American woman under a canopy of trees in the country. The people arrested are suspected of incitement and accessory to sewer slide as part of an investigation opened by prosecutors. By design, the pod allows a suicidal individual to press a button that blows nitrogen gas into the sealed chamber, according to its proprietors. The person then falls asleep peacefully and dies by suffocation in a few minutes. The first use of the Sarcos capsule occurred near a woodland cabin in Murishausen. I'm totally botching that. Murishausen on Monday, according to the prosecutor, who said that they were informed by a law firm. The unidentified American woman who died in the pod was reportedly enduring a very serious illness that involved severe pain and had longed for death for at least 2 years. Now, that is the reality of the situation. There are definitely people out there who are like, I'm done, I'm checking out, it's over. And I feel bad for this woman. She had some sort of illness that, obviously made it very difficult for her to live in her last years, and she chose to go through this Sarcos system. However, something went wrong, clearly. I guess all parties really were consenting in this situation. However, there have been arrests made, so let's read on. The Swiss creator of the sewer slide capsule, The Last Resort. Is that what it's called? The Last Resort? We cannot call it that, guys. It's too meta. It's too self-aware. Announced the use of its invention through a statement on Monday, saying, on Monday, September the 23rd at approximately 16 o'clock, a 64-year-old woman from the Midwest in the US died using the Sarcos device. The firm says its co-president, Florian Willett, was the only individual present for the sewer slide, which contradicts police reports. One of the organization's photographers who wanted to capture images of the Sarcos' first use was among the arrested individuals, according to Dutch newspaper Volkskrant. Now, that's a creepy scene, man. That's a creepy photographer. I'm sorry. I know that you're just a photographer at the end of the day. You've chose the wrong company to be a part of, because now you're getting amped about your job projects, and what that entails is taking photos of a 64-year-old woman in a chamber dead. It's a little creepy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. At the end of the day. And that just goes, that further proves this is the first use of this device, that they were really amped about this, and it all just came collapsing down, because now there have been arrests made. They're doing reports, investigations, litigation maybe. Schaffhausen, cop said the photographer was detained at a police station but offered no explanation in regards to his offense. Willett claimed the 64-year-old's death had been peaceful, fast, and dignified, and happened under a canopy of trees at a private forest retreat in the canton of Schaffhausen, close to the Swiss-German border. The Last Resort claimed the woman had severe immune compromise, which fueled a string of serious problems and caused immeasurable pain for a number of years. Philip Nitschke, I don't know if that's right. I'm sorry, Swiss people, I'm sorry. The Sarcos architect. So maybe I'm not sorry, he's the architect of this thing, so he's definitely all high and mighty on the design. He's like, oh, we have the best design ever for death pods. He added to the earlier statement by Willett, claiming his device had performed exactly as it had been designed to, saying it had provided a non-drug, peaceful death at the time of the person's choosing. Authorities rushed to the scene as soon as the law firm had told them what was transpiring, and they brought a forensic team. The Last Resort said it prepared for police to question company officials after the capsule's first use, claiming it had told authorities prior to using it on the Midwestern woman. So they were completely waiting for this to happen, apparently, and they even called the cops and let them know prior to this entire arrangement. The Sarcos was immediately seized by police, and police reprimanded several several people in the Marieshausen area. The Institute of Legal Medicine in Zurich will conduct an autopsy on the deceased Fiona Stewart, and the Last Resort Advisory Board member and lawyer said the company officials were treading lightly and heeding all advice given by their legal counsel. So what do you guys make of this? Do you think that like these capsules should be a thing? Like, should we, I guess like it's a little weird when the government tells you that you can and can't, like, you know, just bail, I guess, at the end of the day. But it is also weird that there are companies that are trying to, you know, profit on on these people and, you know, bring a more elegant design. I don't know. The whole thing kind of rubs me wrong. The website was a little weird, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down below about that. Sorry that's a little bit of a shorter episode, but got the sniffles. What are you gonna do? I wanted to do an upload for you guys today. I've been missing it the last few weeks because I've been drained, but here we are. So if you're still here, consider liking and subscribing. I post 3 times a week. Get in the loop. Make Peablar TV 2 a part of your weekly schedule. As for me, I am your boy Peablar. It's been real, guys, and until next time, be well and peace.